Do you ever think about going out on a date?
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Not even a tiny.
I am really loving not having a man in my life.
Do you know how much you can do in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year when you're completely single? Like, I didn't realize, like, how much time dating was taking in my life in general. I have a boyfriend right now. Where would I find the time? Like, it is so freeing to wake up every day and there is no one in my phone. I love it. I love it. It is, like, addicting to the point that, like, I'm afraid of talking to a nice man because, like, no, this is the most peaceful my life has ever been, ever. I sleep so good. I mean, you would think that I was a dead body in my bed because I go to sleep and I wake up, my blankets are unmoved. Bitch, I'm out like a fucking light every night. The biggest stress is like getting gas once a month. I don't know, like doing good on a project, like what's next in my career, seeing friends on a weekend. I don't know. Going to a bar class. I don't know.
They did a study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less time on household chores and get more sleep than married women with kids. I studied exactly this in my undergrad. I wanted to know before I left my marriage whether or not single motherhood was going to be to my detriment and my kids' detriment. And what they found was that it was all money. If women found a way to be financially independent, then the kids didn't have an issue. They fared better. They were in a loving, stable home. Everything was okay. And the father could still be present, still have visitation, or if they were already not involved, that just continued. Why do you think we see so many celebrity single moms where their kids are raised just fine and everybody is just happy? It comes down to the money. Think about it, ladies.
People ask me like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. You look so good. What are you doing? I'm fucking single. I don't have a man. I don't have a roster. Women, we really fucking thrive in singledom. Like when we're not giving all of our energy to a man, to different people, when we just really pour into ourselves, immaculate. It's insane the amount of glow and aura that we have.
Now, don't argue with my unpopular opinion, sis. But there's something so refreshing about being single. Not single, but I want to date single. Not single with a roster, but avoidant single. I'm traumatized by men single. Just not too much on me. When I tell you this is the season to get your PhD, get your pH balanced, focus on them kids. Because your skin glows different, your hair grows different, even though I'm having postpartum shedding, but not too much on me. Ass fatter, checks fatter, and you sleep like an infant knowing you're not getting cheated on. We love it over here. But I also realize that this level of freedom attracts more men. They love something they can't get. Believe me.
Quick pause before we finish up the video. The reason this content hits is because it's not just motivational, it's clarity. It's giving you permission to choose yourself. Permission to just stop settling and to become the woman you already feel yourself growing into. And I know transformation can feel overwhelming when you're trying to do it alone. That's why I created tools to help you do this intentionally, not just emotionally. I need you to do it physically in real life and not just on paper. I've created journals and gold resources designed to help you rebuild your mindset, your discipline, your confidence, and your self-trust. Not to change who you are, but to return to yourself and elevate, to return to self. I've created journals to help you get through some of the toughest times of your life and of your journey. If this video is speaking to you, just know there's more support waiting for you when you're ready to take that next step. Now let's get back into the video.
Men tend to thrive more in relationships and in marriages, while women tend to thrive more when they're single. Let's talk about that because there are a lot of facts to this that are actually backed up by numerous studies that have been done on women's single life versus a man's single life. Studies show that single men tend to be more socially isolated and lonelier than married men. Now, of course, this is a generality. I'm not speaking for every single man, but for the majority of men, this is how it is. And this is one of the leading causes and factors for why there is a male loneliness epidemic. One of the biggest differences between men and women when they're both single is women tend to have several outlets where they can pour out their emotional load onto and who they can connect with on an emotional and a mental level, whereas men, we don't think the same way in those regards, especially on a romantic level. We think that the only person who we're supposed to be emotional to and pour out our emotional load onto is a woman or a partner. Women don't think the same, and this is why there is a male loneliness epidemic, because men think that we're supposed to hold every single one of our emotions in and we can't let it out to anyone. This is undeniably one of the reasons for why women tend to thrive more when they're single, because they have a community, a support system of other women and other friends who they can be emotionally connected to. We, unfortunately, don't do that. Single women are more likely to have deep friendships and platonic friendships with other people, and this makes them less dependent on romantic validation. Another reason for why women tend to thrive more when they're single than men do is because of the pressures that come with being in a relationship. There's added cultural and social expectations for a woman when she's in a relationship, like the domestic labor, for example, being one of the main ones. Cooking, cleaning, doing all that stuff. So when a woman is single and decides to live a life without a man, she can cook whenever she wants. If she doesn't want to cook, she doesn't have to. There's a lot less pressure coming from being single than being in a relationship. Very simply put, a woman could wake up one morning and decide, today I'm not going to cook. I don't feel like making any breakfast, so cereal it is. And this is essentially what I mean by when I say that a lot of women who are single tend to have a lot less pressure than women who are in marriages and in relationships. When you take all these things into consideration, it shouldn't be a surprise that men thrive more in relationships while women thrive more when they're single. And this tells me that in a romantic sense, generally speaking, men need women more than women need men.
Mind you, men thrive in relationships and women thrive when they're single. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That's because feminine energy is currency. As women, we are nurturers, we are maternal. And when we're in relationships, aside from the cooking and the cleaning, we pour into men, being their cheerleader, being their sounding board, giving them advice. We lean into that supportive role. But if you're pouring into the wrong man, this is where you find yourself depleted, burnt out, feeling unappreciated, because they're not pouring back into you and playing that masculine role. I'm not saying that as a woman you should stay single so you can thrive. I'm saying that before you give access to a man, ask yourself, can he afford your energy? When a man is standing firmly in his masculinity, you glow differently because you're being taken care of, you're being poured into. A lot of women will rush to be in a relationship with the wrong man because they're lonely, just for the sake of being in a relationship, just to keep up with the Joneses. But true femininity is being comfortable with self, loving yourself, knowing your self-worth, your value, and being able to communicate it.
I think that a lot of men think that they're more of a prize than what they really are. This is the thing.
Heavy on that.
Men really think that women are jealous of the woman that they choose to be like their quote unquote main. And what they don't realize is that a lot of single women are so much happier single because they don't have to deal with the mess from a man. I don't have to be worried about what's going on a man's phone. I don't have to worry about catching a sexually transmitted disease because he decides to cheat.
Heavy on it.
I don't have to worry about any type of stress because I'm not with a man that's cheating, and I'm not with a man, period. I feel like men try to make it seem like they're this God's gift to the earth, and they don't realize like y'all aren't. And women don't actually want to be your wife, or women don't want to be your main. No, we're not worried about it.
If this video helped you in any way, I want you to know this content comes from a very real place. I am so passionate about this because I've been there. And now that I know the sauce, I know the recipe to come out of anything you're going through. Not anything, because I haven't been through everything. But I know the sauce to come out of a lot of stuff that goes on in your 20s. I can tell you that much. And a lot of stuff women go through in general. I don't make these videos just to speak on it. I make them because I genuinely care about women choosing themselves and healing from traumas and hurt and betrayal and becoming who they're meant to be. I know what it feels like to be in a season where you're trying to figure yourself out quietly. You don't want to cause too much attention. You don't want an uproar. I know what it feels like to outgrow people and to rebuild your confidence. I'm literally still rebuilding my confidence as I make these videos. To want more for your life but not always know where to start, I know how that feels. That's why this space exists. I get information from you all as well in the comments. That's why I pour into this content. And that's why I've created tools to support you beyond the screen, so you're not doing this alone. If this resonated with you, stay connected. There's more coming, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This is Pretty Girl Rich Era, evolving into womanhood, where we heal, level up, and become the best version of ourselves. I'll see you in the next one.